What's going on, guys? Audio here. Welcome back to a brand new video. So today we have got another midfielders tier list and we have got plenty of new cards to go through today. So let's get straight into it. Starting off with Shapeshifter Tony Cruz. I finally got the opportunity to use this card yesterday and he is amazing. I was using him as more of a box-to-box midfielder than a DM, but honestly, you can play him in a CDM position if you want to. 100% an S tier card. Memphis Depay Shapeshifter. When I looked at this guy's stats, I was like, okay, he is probably going to be a comfortable S tier card. But when I used him in game, it was kind of like a whole different story. I liked him, but I didn't really love him. For me, Memphis Depay, A+ tier. Modric team of the season card. One thing that will never let you down with Modric is he's Trevella's outside the box. It pretty much goes in every single time. I like him as a box-to-box, so I'm going to put him in the A+ tier also. Sabitzer, a FUT fantasy card. Pretty nice card. I believe he was in the A+ tier last time, but with now us having Memphis Depay in that tier, I don't feel like we can put Sabitzer in there. I'm going to put him in the A tier. Renato Sanchez, all these team of the season moment cards have crashed in price. He no longer goes for what he used to go for, and he used to go for an insane amount. He's still a beast. I still love him. Renato Sanchez, S tier for sure. Lucas Paqueta, Trevella's with him are a joke. Just as good as Modric is, I would say. He's a very nice card, very nice all-rounded player. For me, A+ tier. Milinkovic-Savic definitely has his moments when it comes down to dribbling sometimes. Definitely turns quite slowly. He is good on defense and he is a tall player as well. He's got a good reach. But would I say he's on the A+ tier level? I wouldn't. I'm going to drop him down into the A tier. I believe he was the A+ tier last time. But with the new card that's going to be going in there and Memphis Depay going in there now, I don't think he deserves to go A+ anymore. Bailly, on the other hand, this guy is a beast in that CDM position. Honestly, was so impressed when I was using him. So fast in the midfield. Actually feels pretty nice on the ball as well. A+ as a CDM. Park Ji-sung, pretty nice. Not anything too crazy nowadays. I would say A tier for Park Ji-sung. He's still an alright card, just nothing up there. Upamecano, on the other hand, this guy attacking-wise is crazy. On defense, you definitely do notice the interceptions sometimes bounce off him and, standing tackling not being possession-based. But going forward, he is unreal. I'm going to put Upamecano as a box-to-box in the A+ tier. Thuram. I used to love this Thuram card. He used to be on my main account. He used to be on my RTG team as well in FUT Champs, and he was just everywhere. He was grabbing everything in the midfield. Just every single interception was perfect, wasn't bouncing off him. Now, though, there's better. Thuram, I would say A tier. Casemiro. I do like this Casemiro card still. He's not on Bailly's level. That's something I'll say straight up. Not on Bailly's level for sure. Dribbling, especially on Casemiro, is very bad. But I love his passing ability. I love how strong he goes into tackles. But I do prefer Bailly. I'll put Casemiro in the A tier. Zakaria Path of Glory. If you guys have been watching the midfielders tier list for a while, you guys would know this card used to be in the S tier. Nowadays, though, there's so many better CDMs. Casemiro, in my opinion, is better. Zakaria is going to be our first B+ tier card. Bruno G, used to like him as well. When he just came out, I put this card in my starting 11 in FUT Champs. Beautiful all-rounded player. Now, though, Modric is better. Lucas Paqueta is better. Memphis Depay is better. I'm going to put Bruno in the A tier. Oxlade-Chamberlain, always been a decent card. Never really been anything too insane. For me, there's better sentiment in the A tier. I'm going to put Ox in the B+ tier. Nkunku, I don't think I need to say much about this guy. This guy is the real deal. Let's just put it that way. João Felix, Shapeshifter card. Crazy as an attacking centre mid. You can use him straight up on defense if you want to, but there definitely is certain tackles that kind of just bounce back to your opponent because his standing tackling isn't all that. But if you really want to use him as a midfielder, I would advise using him as an attacking midfielder. That's when you're going to see him really shine. But yeah, João Felix as an attacking centre mid, S tier for me. Phillips, 5-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot, but does not feel great on the ball. Honestly, I prefer Bailly. I really do. Phillips, I'm going to put you in the A tier. Joe Linton, he was an objective card, and a lot of people did use him when he came out. Or for me, Bruno was always a better centre mid than Joe Linton. Thuram is better as well. Joe Linton, I'm going to put you in the B+ tier. Fernando, pretty nice card when he came out. Nothing crazy. In my opinion, a player like Casemiro and Phillips is better. Fernando, I'll put you in the B+ also. Fofana, he's pretty solid still. I would definitely say a comfortable A tier for him. Gundo Showdown, overpriced SBC, but I'm not going to act like he was a bad SBC because honestly, he's really nice. He is. Like, you can go for the Travellas with him. They're really good with him. He can put in a very good tackle on defense. His transition speed is amazing. He's not a slow player to get out to players. It's just he was a very expensive SBC, and that's why a lot of people stayed away from him. Andre, team of the season. All right. I do like his physicals. Like, he is a very strong midfielder. But Fofana, Casemiro, Phillips in like a CDM position is better. Andre, B+. Martial Shapeshifter card, they actually did a really good job with this card. He is crazy good in the midfield. I thought maybe defensively, animation-wise, was going to be a little bit of an issue. Like, there were certain animations that just wasn't going to feel that great. It didn't feel like he was getting the ball. But honestly, I'm wrong. I was so wrong. That's what I thought, but it was a whole different story. Martial, I would definitely say, deserves to go in the S tier. Gavardiol, used him on the main account, actually really did like him, but I feel like S tier for Gavardiol is pushing it. Especially sometimes, like, I feel like his dribbling is a little bit dodgy time to time. So yeah, Gavardiol for me, A+. Fabian, ooh, came out a while ago, decent card. Nothing insane. I would say Bruno is better in a centre mid position. I would say Fofana as well is better in a centre mid position. I'm going to put Fabian in the B+ tier. Dani Ceballos, pretty nice card when he came out as well. But now I feel like there's just better centre mids. I'm going to put Dani Ceballos also in the B+ tier. Marquinhos, always was disappointed with the upgrade they gave this card compared to the World Cup card. Like, we expected a much better upgrade for a trophy titan. He's alright. Would I say he's better in a centre-mid position over Gundo, Modric, Lucas Paqueta, Memphis Depay? No chance. Those centre-mids are better. Marquinhos Trophy Titan card is going to go into the A tier. Barella, he was in the S tier last time. With now João Felix being in there, Martial, I don't think Barella deserves to go there anymore. He still is for sure a nice card, and that is why I'm putting him in the A+. It's just I feel like if I put him in the S tier now, with the new Shapeshifter cards being in there, I feel like that's pushing it. Sergio, he is an incredible CDM. Would I say, though, he's a better CDM than Toni Kroos? Tackling animations are better on Sergio, but the way Kroos dribbles, the way he feels on the ball is insane to me. So I would rather have Kroos over Sergio. He is going to go A+ tier, but he definitely is on like the higher end of the A+ tier. Maybe like 1 foot going into the S tier, but majority of the body in the A+, if you know what I mean. De Jong, amazing card. Used him last weekend or the weekend before that. I can't remember exactly. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. He is crazy. I actually used him on 2 chemistry as well, and he was unreal. Like, he's just one of those cards that you don't need to use on 3 chem. You don't need to use him on full chemistry. You can use him on 2, and he's still going to perform amazingly well. S tier for sure. Paulinho, pretty nice holding DM. Not as good as Sergio, not as good as Gavardiol, not as good as Bailly. I'm going to put Paulinho in the A tier. Sissoko, exact same thing. Pretty nice CDM. Can put in a very good tackle, but not as good as those 3. Rodri, on the other hand, though, I definitely would say Rodri is up there for me, A+. Incredible man of the match card. Gave him a humongous upgrade to the pace, and you can really notice it in game. Xavi Simons, I like him as an attacking centre mid. If you try to defend with him, he can put in some good tackles, but because he's not exactly a tall player, he misses out on a few interceptions. But I would say Xavi Simons as an attacking centre mid, A+. Milner, nothing crazy, pretty nice centre mid. I would say A tier for him. N'Golo Kante, end of an era card. N'Golo Kante, honestly, always surprises me. Always. Because you look at his height, you're looking at a 5'6" player. You're thinking, okay, usually quite small players in the midfield, they miss out on like interceptions. Their reach as well to tackle round players ain't that great. But it's always a different story with N'Golo Kante. Always. It's always a different story. It's crazy to me how his reach is just insane. His interceptions feels like he's grabbing literally everything. Transition speed, Travellas with him as well. If you guys saw on the new channel, the AuzioMF gaming channel, me using this card, yeah, you guys would know the Travellas on N'Golo is very good. N'Golo for me is an S tier card. Carlos, ooh, Carlos is decent. Nothing too crazy nowadays. Marquisio is better. I'm going to say B+ for him. Team of the season, KDB. I know there's still a lot of people that don't like this card, but honestly, I love KDB every single year. He's always that guy, in my opinion, for me, as like a box-to-box centre mid. I love the upgrade they gave to his defending stats as well compared to his team of the year. A +4 to defending. Really, really noticeable in-game. Team of the season, KDB. S tier. I know he doesn't go for like a crazy amount on the market. He's like 300,000 coins. But honestly, 300,000 coins for that card, bargain. Dirt Cow Foot Fantasy card. Even though he performs better on defense than what his stats actually says, you definitely do notice a few tackles go back to your opponent, and it is very annoying to see. I would say Foot Fantasy, Dirt Cow, A tier at best now. Tonali, in a CDM position, very good. Centre mid, you notice a few weird turns when you're trying to go forward with him, which can be a little bit annoying. But as a CDM, I would still say Tonali is up there in the A+ tier. Fabio Vieira. As an attacking centre mid, Fabio's always been like kind of decent. It's just on defense, he is so like poor in my opinion. It just doesn't feel like the tackling animations are there. I would rather have someone like Bruno in that centre mid position, so I'm going to put Fabio Vieira in the B+ tier. When this card came out, people were so surprised like how he was going for the amount he was going for. He was never like an expensive card, and he was always a nice card. Now though, I feel like he's A tier at best. Like, I cannot put Moreno in the same tier as those players in the A+ tier. Those CDMs are better. Those centre mids are better for sure. Our high-low work rate is a little bit annoying, but he still honestly tracks back really well. And going forward, I don't think I need to really speak about it. Going forward, yeah, he's insane. A+ tier for Our. I know this might surprise a few people, but this Enzo Fernandez card is still nice. He is like, he was so ahead of like the power curve. He is still a very good box-to-box, and I'm still gonna put him in the A+ tier. Venice, always underrated in my opinion. Always a card that got pushed to a side, never got that opportunity to really shine, to really stand out. But I have used Venice plenty of times, and I know how good he is, and that is why I'm putting him in the A+ tier. Guerrero, I did like Guerrero in the centre mid position. I feel like sometimes his sprint speed was like a little bit of an issue. His transition speed has always been nice. With the players we now have in the A+ tier, I don't think Guerrero deserves to go there anymore, so I'm going to put him in the A tier. Benzema Winter Wildcard, beautiful. 5-star skill moves. Honestly, you look at stats and you actually feel like he's a little bit outdated if you're just literally basing it off stats, but in game he's always performed better than what his stats actually says, and he's always been an amazing card. I'm gonna put him A+. Shapeshifter Adeyemi, he hasn't got 5-star skill moves or a 5-star weak foot, but a player that I would compare Adeyemi to is Team of the Season Pedri. They felt very similar, it's just Team of the Season Pedri I would still say is better. Adeyemi, I would say you deserve to go into the A+ tier. Very cheap card, cheap beast in my opinion. Definitely a card I'd recommend picking up if he actually does fit into your starting 11 and if you are looking for a centre mid. Team of the Season Rabiot, unreal upgrade they ended up giving him. Definitely an S tier card. Emre Can, his acceleration is a little bit, you know, it's not that great, and it definitely is annoying to work with this late into the game now. I would say Emre Can deserves to go into the B+. Team of the Season Pedri, here he is, love him. He's a joke, crazy good card. S tier for me. Verratti's interceptions can be a little bit weird. His transition speed is something I do like in this game a lot, but you know what? I do prefer Adeyemi. I do. Like, I know some people may be a little bit surprised by that. I don't mind Verratti. I didn't like love him when I used him, but I didn't, you know, dislike him when I used him. I just felt like he was an alright card, and for me, there's better centre mids in the A+ tier, and that is why Verratti is going into the A tier. But I know some people for sure will disagree with that. Team of the Season Bellingham, I think there's no question about it. I don't think I need to really speak much about it. You guys already know where he is going to go. Caicedo, 3-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot is a little bit meh. He is pretty nice as a DM though. I would say A tier for you. Virgil van Dijk, shapeshifter card, Let me move myself down here because you guys already know where this card's going to go. All the way up there. Arguably the best CDM in the entire game. Wijnaldum, showdown card. Even though he didn't get the upgrade, very nice still. He's still a very solid card. A card I still like in this game. And a card I will still put into the A+ tier. Team of the season, Valverde. He's dropped a lot in price, but he is still up there. Still like him a lot. Very good box to box. You can use him as like a DM if you want to, but the best you're going to get out from him is actually playing him as like a centre mid, so he has that freedom of going forward as well. Milinkovic-Savic. 100%. Look at my duo. Milinkovic-Savic, Musiala right next to each other. These two is who I've been using in the centre mid positions, and man, this duo is crazy. You have Milinkovic-Savic just running up and down constantly, and then you have Musiala making that movement going forward, not committing too much, so I can actually go for the Travellas with him, and the Travellas with Musiala are broken. But yeah, these two together, just simply crazy. LAKEY, Shapeshifter, used him last week instead of Milinkovic-Savic, and honestly, LAKEY's actually really surprised me. I didn't expect him to be all that, even though stats-wise, he looked very good. I just thought his animations were going to be a little bit all over the place. It always really comes down to animations. I don't know why. I always doubt it, just because, like, goalkeeper moving into the centre mid, you think his tackling is probably going to be a little bit dodgy. But he was a good card. I personally didn't love him. I didn't think he was unreal. So I am going to put him in the A+ tier. And yeah, I don't think he's on like Milinkovic-Savic's level. I do prefer Milinkovic. Goretzka, so cheap now. Under 100k. How can Goretzka be under 100,000 coins? How? Goretzka, S tier. Declan Rice, alright. Always preferred Casemiro in my opinion. Declan Rice is going to go into the B+ tier. Casemiro is better. Fofana in a CDM position is better. Thuram in a CDM position is better. Locatelli, still a pretty decent card. I would say A tier for Locatelli. Yaya Toure, Trophy Titan card. This is a big one because I have loved Yaya for a very long time. But I'm going to be honest, I think it's now time to drop. I do. I really do. Like, me personally, I prefer Milinkovic-Savic now. Milinkovic-Savic with his reach is a joke. We have players like Virgil van Dijk in there, Bellingham in there. We have players like, I'm trying to look for CDMs. Tony Cruz, 5-star, 5-star. Yaya, it's time to drop into the A+ tier. I know some people will still say he's S tier, but for me, it's time to drop into the A+ tier. There are better CDMs, there are better centre mids in the S tier. Llorente, love him. So cheap, another one. Every team of the season moment card has dropped a crazy amount. It's just because like team of the season moments out of that team of the season pack that came out as an SBC like a few days ago is so common. So people are getting Llorente, people are getting Renato Sanchez, people are getting Ronaldo. Kind of common. Ronaldo's dropped a lot as well. Llorente, S tier for me, still a crazy good card. Sergi Darder, alright. I like him, but there's better centre mids. I would say in the B+ tier you're going to go. Lobotka, team of the season. He was a play SBC. I would say A tier for him. Very nice card. Kimmich, team of the season. Travellas are beautiful. You could definitely use Kimmich as a centre mid if you want to as well, not just a CDM, because his dribbling is amazing, passing is amazing, and as I said, his Travellas are really good. Even though he doesn't really go for that much anymore, I would still say Kimmich is A+. I still like him in that midfield. And just like that, we have ourselves our midfielders tier list. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my top 3 centre mids and top 3 CDMs. Starting off with CDMs, I would say Virgil van Dijk has to be number 1. Second, Bellingham for sure. And in the third spot, I am going to say Milinkovic-Savic. That card, that play SBC, was a joke of a play SBC. EA, I feel like they kind of messed up because they made him extremely overpowered. For how cheap he was as well, like, way too cheap. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, that's my top 3 CDMs. Top 3 centre mids, Bellingham, number 1. Virgil van Dijk for me is more like a CDM than he is a centre mid. I don't mind him in a centre mid position. It's just, there's players that offer you more in that position than Virgil van Dijk. So yeah, Bellingham, number 1. Second, I would say Nkunku. And third, I am going to go... There's a lot of good players. a lot. But you know what? I'm going to go for it again. I'm going to go Milinkovic Savic. He offers you like an amazing attacking presence as well. Because he's so tall, he wins headers for fun in the midfield. And on top of that, you can actually dribble really well with him. He's got 5-star skill moves. You can shoot really well. Green time it. It's going to go in. Honestly, he is an overpowered card, and what a player SBC it was. So yeah, that's my top 3 centre-mids and top 3 CDMs. Let me know your top 3 CDMs in the comment section. I don't want to ask for the centre-mids as well because I feel like I'm asking for a little bit too much. Cheap beasts, I could say easily Llorente. Llorente is a cheap beast. Now, it's weird to say that because he shouldn't go for the price he goes for, but way too cheap. Way too cheap. Goretzka as well, under 100,000 coins now, or around 100,000 coins area. So cheap for what he offers you. I don't think there's really anyone else that is that cheap in the S tier. I mean, De Bruyne for 300,000 coins is crazy to me, but that's obviously not really that cheap. A+ tier, there's a lot. There's a lot in the A+ tier. Like Benacer is so cheap now. Adeyemi's under 100,000 coins. Kimmich is cheap. Who else we got? We got Tonali's a pretty cheap card. I don't think Bai even goes for over 100,000 coins, and he is like a crazy good CDM. I don't think there's really a need to drop into the A tier because there's so many cheap beasts in the A+ tier, and there's actually some in the S tier, which is a surprise. You don't really see cheap beasts in the S tier. You really don't anymore. But yeah, some of the players in that S tier, like Llorente, Goretzka, they just shouldn't go for the price they go for. They are way too cheap for what they actually offer you in-game. But that is going to be it for the tier list. Again, this is obviously my tier list. Just keep that in mind. This is my opinions on the cards. There's always going to be different opinions about players. It's fine to have a different opinion. If you felt like there was a player that I put in the A+ tier that you believe deserves to actually go higher, you believe deserves to go into the S tier, just let me know who it is in the comment section. But that is going to be it. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.